Okay. Hi, I'm Angelina, and this is Daniel. And today I will be interviewing him regarding his little sister that is in a voluntary pre-kindergarten program. Okay, so my first question is your sister enjoying the program so far?
Yeah, she's actually really enjoying it. She always comes home talking about her friends, and she's always talks about her teachers and the things they do in the classroom.
Okay, cool, nice. Okay, what changes have you seen in her development so far? Maybe let's start with like physical development. Have you seen any changes there?
So definitely with her physical development, a lot of it in how she's been eating. So she's been using her fork and her spoon a lot more and more efficiently. Instead of getting the food everywhere, she's been able to
Mm.
get it into her mouth more efficiently now.
So in the program, like they allow them to like eat independently.
So yeah, they do eat independently, but the teacher's always there to help guide them in case they need any help.
Okay, cool. What about cognitively? Have you seen any development?
So she's been counting a lot more. She's been able to like tell me whether like that's one of something or like three of something, tell
Mm-hmm.
me how many objects there are.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also been learning her ABCs as well.
Social development?
Social development a lot. So she's been communicating with her friends. She's been telling me more about her friends, and she's also been improving her communication with the neighborhood kids.
Mm-hmm.
Before like the VPK program, she was a little shy, but
Yeah,
she's been a lot more open
it's
now.
made her get it outside of the box. Yeah.
Yes,
And
definitely.
what about her language development? Have you noticed any changes in that?
So language development, she's been making a lot more coherent sentences. So before it was kind of just bits and pieces here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but she's been able to form sentences a lot better now and kind of give me like her story of the day or something like that.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, and what ways do you think the educators are contributing to her development? Like, what do you think they're doing that's making this process go?
So they're definitely helping her with
Mhm.
some things,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's her trying to figure it out and them
Mm-hmm.
just serving as a guide rather than
Mm-hmm.
just like forcing things on her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they're kind of letting her develop on her own while
Yeah.
providing that helping hand when
Do you
she
think
needs
like
it.
she's getting some of these skills from like other kids? Do you think like she's like observing others?
Well, for sure. They're always communicating, they're always collaborating in the classrooms, her and the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she's been learning from them just as them learning from her.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think you and your family have reinforced some of the things that have been taught in the program?
So one of the big things that we do is communicate with the teachers to try and see what she's doing in the class so we
Mm-hmm.
can reinforce it at home. So we'll typically get like a workbook or two just to kind of give her some extra practice, but make sure it's like fun so that way she doesn't
Yeah,
feel overwhelmed.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's good. What are your thoughts on the activities that are being done in the classroom? Do you think they're age appropriate? Do you think that she's enjoying them so far?
So I definitely think she's enjoying them. She always comes home talking about them. She
Yeah.
always brings some sort of holiday figurine or something they do in the classroom, some arts and crafts stuff.
Yeah.
And they always do like some little science activities that
Mm,
they ask for materials and we always bring them in.
yeah.
And they have a lot of fun. And
Okay.
she always talks about them.
Cool, cool, cool. Do you think the VPK program, as it is a voluntary pre-kindergarten program, do you think it's sufficiently preparing her for kindergarten? Um, and like considering today's practices in the classroom, do you think that she's going to be prepared when she leaves the program?
For sure. She's definitely gonna be more prepared than if she wouldn't have been in the program.
Mhm.
Just because now in the program she's been able to develop the like counting skills.
Mhm.
She knows her letters of the alphabet and stuff like that.
Mhm.
She's also being able to communicate better with other kids
Mhm.
socially. So I feel like that's gonna help her a lot when she goes into kindergarten.
Mhm.
And on top of that, they're giving her a schedule, right? So they
Yeah.
have like their lunch, they have their set times for learning throughout the day, they
Yeah.
have their free time during the day, but that schedule's gonna be big time
Yeah,
when
that's
going to the new school.
yeah. That structure's really hard for some kids to like develop, especially if they haven't been in that type of environment before. So that's good that they're starting with that.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you, Daniel.
No problem.
Okay. So during the interview, I noticed, well, I asked questions about how um the person I interviewed felt the about the development so far of his sister. And he said that for physical development, he felt like his sister was eating a lot more independently and was able to use her fork and spoon more independently. And he feels like it's because the teachers allow them to eat independently while still being there to guide. He felt like as far as cognitive development, his sister was learning lots of academic skills such as counting, um, the letter names, which is great. So in kindergarten, they're prepared. Socially, he felt like his sister was making lots of friends. She was talking about her friends. So it's good that his sister is developing those social skills to create meaningful relationships with others. After that, I asked what ways he thought that the educators in the classroom were contributing to his sister's development. And he said that the educators are always there to guide them. So I'm sure that in this classroom, considering what he said, they have a lot of play, like play free time where they get to explore the classroom. There's probably a lot of centers in the classroom that they use to role play, to create things. They probably have arts and crafts centers. Um, he also said that um the teachers also do have structured activities. Um, so it's teaching the children how to follow specific steps. And the educators are always introducing them to new concepts. After that, I asked how he feels like his family and him are contributing to like reinforcing the content at home. And he said that him and the educators constantly collaborate and talk, and they buy workbooks and they buy activities to do at home with the child that they feel like are similar to the ones that are doing in class. So it's great that the family knows how to collaborate with the educators because they are going to need that skill later on when the child gets to kindergarten. After that, I asked what he thought was if he thought like the activities they were doing were like age appropriate and like the child was enjoying them. And he said that definitely the child really enjoys the arts and crafts activities that they do, holiday related. And she also really enjoys the science projects that they do, which are probably STEM projects, which definitely will help carry on into kindergarten as they already have like some science foundations. Um, yeah, and then finally I asked if he felt like the VPK program was sufficiently going to prepare his sister to move into kindergarten. And he said, yeah, like they're doing a lot of activities. She's learning how to count. She's learning a lot of academic skills. But most importantly, she's learning a lot of social skills, which he feels like that is very important for her to move into kindergarten. Um, considering and oh, and he that the kindergarten that the VPK classroom is giving his sister a lot of like structure, which is really beneficial to her in kindergarten because obviously all schools have a specific set schedule and structure, and sometimes that transition is really hard for kids. So now that she's already having it in VPK, it may be easier for her to transition into kindergarten and be okay with doing this at this time, this at this time. So yeah.